Are vegetable oils one of the primary reasons as to why we are currently struggling with an obesity epidemic and why it's so hard to lose weight and keep that weight off? Hey everyone, Timbermaster here, and in this video we're going to be talking about vegetable oils. And even though we're told how healthy they are, they might be the real cause of our weight gain. Now we are going to be talking about what vegetable oils are, how they make us fat, and then I'm going to tell you how to approach fat consumption so you can effectively lose weight and maybe even break through that plateau. So what are vegetable oils? Well, vegetable oils have a variety of different names. They can be called polyunsaturated fatty acids or PUFAs. They can be called seed oils, omega-6s, and also plant oils. And when it comes to some examples of vegetable oils that you might be finding on a nutrition label, well, you're obviously going to come across vegetable oil. You're also going to come across soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, and cottonseed oil. Also, we can classify margarine as a vegetable oil as well. And with certain characteristics outside of margarine, vegetable oils are typically liquid at room temperature. And because of this, there's actually a really interesting theory out there linked between vegetable oils and a certain type of fat that women don't particularly love. Actually, if you think you know what type of fat it is, hit that like button, or if you just want to take a guess, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think it is. Remember, liquid at room temperature. And at the end of this video, I'm going to let you know exactly what type of fat it is. Now, vegetable oils contain a fatty acid called linoleic acid, and linoleic acid is extremely important. It's actually a little polarizing because vegetable oils are always touted as being really healthy, but linoleic acid is actually very pro-inflammatory. It oxidizes very easily, and it might be one of the biggest reasons as to why we have seen such immense weight gain over the last several decades and why it's so hard to lose weight. But linoleic acid is really interesting because we actually contain it in our own body fat, just like all animals do. But the question that we need to be asking ourselves is, how much linoleic acid do we have in our body fat compared to maybe 50, 60 years ago? Well, as of 2008, on average, linoleic acid made up about 21.5% of our body fat composition. Hey, 21.5% isn't that bad, right? It's actually not that good, because what if I told you that back in 1959, linoleic acid only made up about 9% of our total body fat composition? And what if I also told you that it should be closer to about 4%? Now, vegetable oils are still kind of fairly new. They were actually invented about 150, 160 years ago, and they're highly processed now, and they were highly processed back then too. And back in the mid 1800s, we were really only consuming about 2 grams of vegetable oils a day. And guess where we are right now? 20, 50, 70. Well, we are consuming on average over 80 grams of vegetable oils every single day. Now, where are all these vegetable oils and polyunsaturated fatty acids found, and how are we eating so much more than we used to? Well, vegetable oils are kind of just hidden in our food. They're gonna mostly be in processed foods like potato chips, tortilla chips, crackers, those veggie straw things. They're gonna be in salad dressings, creamy and clear. They're gonna be in frozen dinners. They're gonna be in organic food, gluten-free food. The list really goes on. And basically, if your food is coming in a box, a bag, or a container, there's a really good chance that there's going to be vegetable oils in it. But the big question that we need to ask ourselves is, how do vegetable oils make us fat? Now, when we eat a diet that's high in polyunsaturated fatty acids, those omega-6s, and linoleic acid, well, we are going to start to see some mitochondrial dysfunction, particularly with our electron transport chain. And the electron transport chain is a very important process because it creates ATP, or energy. And to provide a little bit of context on how important this process is, well, if it stopped working entirely in all of our cells, we would literally die within seconds to minutes. So if we're seeing dysfunction with the electron transport chain, this is not good. We're not gonna die instantly, but we're essentially experiencing inefficiencies with energy production, primarily primarily with being able to use fat as fuel. Also, another thing that we see is reduced fatty acid beta oxidation, which means that we become even less efficient at using fat as fuel. And on top of that, if we are consuming carbs and linoleic acid, then we are not only going to be less efficient at using fat as energy, but we are also putting ourselves at risk for making our adipocytes or fat cells hypertrophic and grow in size. Now, the important thing to remember here is that when we are consuming high amounts of vegetable oils, we are becoming less efficient at using fat as energy. We're also increasing the size of our fat cells, and this is exactly what we don't want. And this could be the very reason as to why we are struggling so much with our weight, why it's so hard to lose weight, and why it's so hard to keep that weight off. And as a side note, this could actually be one of the very reasons why people see plateaus when they're doing keto. Okay, let's think about this for a second. So people who are doing keto, they're eating a lot of fat, right? So what if someone is eating a lot of vegetable oils, a lot of linoleic acid, and because of this, they might be seeing some mitochondrial dysfunction, and as a result, they've hit that plateau. They can't use fat as fuel, and they can't lose weight anymore. Kind of interesting, right? Now, what should our approach be with fat consumption and weight loss, though? We got to stop consuming vegetable oils. So that means we got to stop consuming all the processed foods that we talked about and that I previously mentioned. So no pizza, no chips, no commercial salad dressings, and no quote unquote healthy snacks that are coming in a box or a bag. And we have to try and stop eating fast food. And we also need to watch what we eat when we go out to dinner at restaurants or when we get takeout too, because restaurants use a lot of canola oil and they use a lot of soybean oil with their cooking. Now, we still do need to eat fat though, but wait, doesn't eating fat make us fat? Well, the answer to that question is no, because eating fat helps your body be in a position to actually start using fat as fuel. And as long as we're heavily reducing our carbohydrate consumption, then we'll be okay. And what I mean by this is that when we eat carbohydrates, our body will actually prioritize the usage of those carbohydrates as a fuel source. But if we were to reduce our carbohydrate consumption and replace that with more fat, then our body is going to be able to utilize fat as fuel. But what types of fat should we be consuming then? Well, we want to focus on fats that are high in fat-soluble vitamins like egg yolks, animal proteins that are pasture-raised, fish that is wild caught. We want to eat grass-fed butter, grass-fed ghee, tallow, and suet. Also, some other great fat sources are avocado, olives, and coconut too. And if you want to know more about how much you should be eating with your fat, your protein, and your carbs, check out this video right here where I go over the PE diet and break down exactly how much you should be eating based off of your goal weight. Okay, now let's get back to that theory that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, the one about vegetable oil and the certain type of fat that women particularly do not love. Well, the answer to that is cellulite. Wait, what? How does that work? Well, it's possible that if linoleic acid is liquid at room temperature, and we're also seeing more linoleic acid in our body fat than ever before, would it really be that crazy to suggest that this increase in linoleic acid is causing poor connective tissue structure and therefore leading to cellulite? It doesn't sound too crazy to me, but it's not my theory. I do find it to be pretty entertaining though. Oh yeah, well, I guess you got that right. Go ahead and hit that like button, and then I guess you can also give yourself a nice pat on the back. All right, well, if you liked that video and you're interested in learning more about weight loss while also getting healthy, then subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're interested in learning about what I eat to stay healthy and lean that actually works great for weight loss as well, check out this video right here. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.